All right, this is the 2024 Zero FXE. This is their ultra lightweight. Whoa! This is their ultra lightweight Supermoto style bike. Super light. So when it comes to all electric, many questions here. I would say the biggest things are going to be range, and I do get a lot of questions about the clutch. This is a single gear, pretty much. You could think of it, I think it's called final drive or something. I forget what the scientific word is for it. But yeah, this one does just have one singular gear, and you pretty much just go. It's instant torque. There's no clutch, no shifter. You do find yourself reaching for a ghost clutch and shifter every now and then. As far as range goes, this bike can get anywhere from, let's say, as low as 30 to 35, all highway, all wide open throttle, at 100%, and probably as long as, you know, up to 80 with some regenerative braking involved and things like that. So that gives you a pretty good idea. It's a great, you know, back and forth bike. I would never ever be concerned with anywhere from 30 to 40 up to 50 miles of commuting. You know, anything around 50, probably consult a dealer and kind of give them an idea of what kind of riding you're doing on that 50. So highway speed is probably a good thing to mention on this bike. It still does have plenty of speed. You know, you can get a speeding ticket on this bike, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't say I'm the fastest thing in the world anymore. If you're on a DSRX or SRS, basically any of the high spec 75-10 motor bikes, you're pretty much one of the quickest things on the highway. There's nothing that will keep up with you. On this bike, I really do have to kind of wait for some more acceleration, and that is in sport mode, which isn't really a big problem, I guess, on this style of bike if you're riding it like that, right? But if you're coming from like a Husky 701 or a KTM SMC 690R, I mean, you're gonna have some problems with this bike if you want the same kind of highway potential. So that's one of its weaknesses, I would say, is highway speed and range. But overall, it's okay for the highway. It's not bad. Short stints, things like that, I'd be just fine with it. But let's talk about some of its strengths now that we're coming into a corner. Is the maneuverability, and the brakes on this bike are excellent. This bike does have ABS and traction control. The ABS is pretty sensitive because the brakes are nice and strong. But let's even do a little Supermoto style thing here. Oh yeah, I love it. Sheesh! Yeah, man, these brakes are excellent. Super crispy. Just use one finger on this brake and you are stopping. Yeah, let's see. Wow, that is very impressive. Look at that, one finger, and it just twitches forward. I will say this amount of braking will actually need some experience to use properly without engaging the ABS, because yeah, that is very snappy. I personally love it coming off of sport bikes. That's exactly what I would trust going into a corner. Much too fast for my own good. So yeah, no, now that we're sitting at a light, let's look at some other modes. Eco, custom, back to sport. So this bike does have adjustable power modes and stuff through the next gen app. Looks like I've had the high beams on this whole time. In eco mode, it usually reduces the throttle response slightly so that you're not I feel that when you have that much acceleration at the palm of your hands, it's very tempting to use all the time and destroy your range. So eco does a good job of trailing that back a little bit and sort of making it less fun. Which is definitely good to save range. It also usually caps your speed. I haven't experienced what the cap is on this bike, so we're about to find out. So super lightweight. As far as charge time goes, the reason why I was saying I wouldn't stress anything less than 50-55 on the highway for a commute or something, this bike does take a good amount of time to charge. It's not like the more premium models where you can get an hour and a half on a charge point. No, you have to go into a basically a 110 outlet, normal wall outlet, and plug it right in. Go ahead, Mr. Civic, go ahead. All right, you missed your exit. Sorry, I tried. Because this bike will take anywhere from 6 to 8 hours at that kind of charge rate to get back to 100%. Now you don't always need 100%, so maybe if you're just barely scraping by, like you can pretty much almost make it to and from round trip on one charge, and maybe you just want some peace of mind or want to go pick up some groceries after work or something, then you know you can plug it into a wall outlet, get a couple hours, maybe a full day of charge, and you're almost right back to 100, and that'll for sure more than get you home. So that's it does require some planning at this kind of range, but this bike is an absolute ball to work with. So if you get a chance to figure this out, I mean, it's a very, very fun bike to have on the side around town. You know, it's just super easy. And then unfortunately, because Supermotos, a lot of them are coming from dirt bike chassis, dirt bike engines, things like that. You're looking at single cylinder, high output motors, which, as you guys know, high output usually means high maintenance too. So if you're looking at something like a KTM SMC R, you know, you are going to be getting into some pretty maintenance heavy items eventually. And in the corner, yeah, this bike just absolutely responds. You can do sport bike style, you can do Supermoto, whatever you want. Absolute ball. It's so light, it's so flickable. Shit. Yeah, man, this thing is an absolute ball. The brakes will definitely take some getting used to, even for somebody that comes from some Brembos on their personal bike. This thing is very, very touchy. Gives me some confidence under braking, but man, it would require some practice to get this progressive and not engage your ABS all the time. All right, one final corner. So final impressions on this bike. I absolutely love electric for what their intents and purposes are. If you're trying to use electric as, you know, a touring bike and you're mad at the range, we ended up on the wrong side of the internet, I like to say. So as far as a around the town city bike, absolute blast. We do have some special incentives going on for these guys right now, especially for finance. So come check these guys out, talk to a dealer rep. Thank you.